You're now listening to Client Questions on the Mindful Connections podcast.
Welcome to the Mindful Connections podcast. My name's Nigel Horton. I'm a senior software engineer based in Ferm in Hampshire, and I've worked with Ollie on various projects since 2006. So Ollie, I've got a question for you here. Tell us about your day rate and how you define that when your role changes so much between jobs.
Hi, Nige. Thanks for the question. Much appreciated. Day rate. So my day rate starts from £400, and what I've decided to do is tier my day rate depending on the type of work and projects that I take on and what's actually involved from myself. And fundamentally, that depends on what I'm delivering and how I'm delivering it.
Yeah, okay. So explain a little about what you would charge for what kinds of work.
Okay, so with my day-to-day, I'm often hired with technology, and that could be cameras, lighting, audio, specialised software, and of course with all of that, it requires the knowledge, the licenses and the insurance to be able to use such business tools. So what I've done is I have one day rate for my home studio based work, which is handling anything remote, websites, editorial, design, that sort of thing. Then I have a rate where I'm required in say on site in a client office on location, and that's $450 a day, and that's accompanied by any travel expenses and accommodation if required. And then I also have a slightly higher rate when I'm being hired with my equipment, which takes time to prepare, purchase, repair in some cases, and insure. So that's £550 plus travel expenses and accommodation.
Now, Ollie, I know that you used to quote per job, but does that still come into play much?
Yes, it certainly does. And I would say more often than not with new clients and new projects, fairly straightforward projects that you can see the start, middle and end, and ensure that you can deliver within that time frame. Otherwise, I'm more inclined to deliver how many days it's going to take and hours, and with certain milestones, so that project managers or the client themselves can tell that the project is being kept on track. Often with a lot of projects that I work with, I'm reliant on the client or other vendors delivering content to me if I'm not creating it myself. And so there are certain parameters you have to prepare for and advise on.
So can you run us through your specific pricing then?
Well, certainly, I have worked previously with quite a few subcontractors because on occasion I need a second pair of hands, a second me, so to speak, to be able to deliver some projects. And so I've hired people for the same sort of jobs that I deliver at the same rate that I'm now charging, and that is how that I have come to deliver my rates for the certain services that I provide.
So when you take on contracts, is there any kind of room in there, wiggle room for discounts, things like that?
Nige, you know as well as I do, there's always room for wiggle room and discounts, providing there's enough business there to support such discounts. Now, if there's just a day or two, then it's not going to happen, is it? However, if this is a contract or a decent slice of project work, then of course there's always budgets to be upheld to. And at the end of the day, I like to know that I'm going to deliver and I'm going to be proud of that work. And if it's a case of needing to trim expectations on day rate by 15-20% has been done before, because I like the project or I'm comfortable with that, then certainly. At the end of the day, I want to work with great clients and I want to deliver. And if that's on the table, then there is always a little bit of wiggle room if people are going to look after me.